welcome to my channel. If you are new, my name is Rachel Amma and I'm back again with some more recipes to share with you guys. So I'm still on autumn vibes, winter vibes, so I'm coming with some really delicious hearty meals to get you through the week. And this video is especially for my pasta lovers out there because we are going pasta crazy. Now, if you don't want to use pasta, you can use any other substitute, whether you want to use chickpea flour pasta, spinach pasta, lentil pasta, black bean pasta, whole wheat pasta, wheat-free pasta, whatever your favorite pasta, I've got the perfect sauces to wrap in the pasta bars. So please give this video a thumbs up if you're excited for the really hearty pasta recipes. Don't forget to subscribe because I'm here every week with new videos to share with you guys. And obviously check out my cookbook if you want to see more of my recipes, Rachel Amma's Vegan Eat. So let's get straight into the recipes. So the first one I'm going to share with you is I shared it on my Instagram, previews. So the first recipe is really creamy, hearty. We're using broccoli and we've got some like salted coconut flakes with paprika that are just gonna go on top. It's just, it's very delicious. So let's get straight into the first recipe. So I've got some pasta. When you get fun ones like this, there's so many different layers and textures. It means the sauce can wrap itself around it and get really delicious. So we've got some pasta, some cashew nuts, which are just soaking because we're gonna make a sauce out of that. Then I've got some coconut flakes and I'm gonna mix that with a bit of smoked paprika and some soy sauce and maple syrup, make a nice little coconut, flaky, crispy, smoky, something that's gonna go with the pasta, and also some broccoli and some garlic and a bit of thyme because it's that season. And we're gonna make some really delicious pasta. First thing I'm gonna do is get these cashew nuts. You wanna soak them for at least an hour and then just drain out the water. And if you don't eat nuts, you could swap this out for something like coconut cream. Then to a high-speed blender, I'm gonna add in my cashew nuts, followed by some water. The more water you add, the more runnier the sauce is gonna be. As once it gets in with the pasta, it really does start to thicken up. I'm gonna add in a nice healthy portion of black pepper. Then I've got a nice generous spoon of miso paste. The miso paste is gonna bring out some really nice rich umami flavors. I've also got a little bit of English mustard. This is a last minute addition just to add some more flavor to it. And then last but not least, a nice squeeze of lemon juice. This is gonna help bring out some flavor. Then you just wanna add that straight into your blender. Now you need a high-speed blender, turn it up, and as you can see, it's just getting smoother and smoother and smoother. We want it nice and smooth, so keep going. If you want it a little bit looser, at this point, you could add a little bit of water, or you can keep it as it is. And then you've got this really delicious, nice, creamy sauce that we're gonna coat in the pasta. So to make the coconut bites, we are gonna get all the coconut flakes, add them to a bowl. They're nice and crispy, as you can see. Now we're gonna add loads of flavor to this and make it really, really tasty. So in here, we're gonna add some smoked paprika, some maple syrup. I've also got this liquid smoke. This is gonna bring like a smoky flavor to it that's gonna make it so good. And then some soy sauce, which you can sub for coconut aminos. And then you just wanna give that a good mix, get it all coated, all seasoned up, and these little bites taste so good. Then you just want to get the coconut flakes, lay them on a baking tray, lay them as single layered as you can, spread them out, that way they're going to crisp up in the oven. So I'm going to add those to a preheated oven and let them cook. Keep an eye on them because we use maple syrup. If they cook too long, they can burn. So you just want to check them every couple minutes to make sure you're not burning them. With the broccoli, we're going to use it all. So I'm going to start by cutting off the stems. And we're gonna use the stems as well. There's no need for food waste. There's no need to throw it all away. So just keep chopping it up. Get it nice and small. So you've got these tiny little broccoli bites. So now we've got all of our broccoli. I love broccoli. You can roast this, but I'm gonna cook this. To add some more flavor to our pasta, I've got some garlic. You guys know I love garlic, so I'm gonna go a bit crazy with the garlic. We're gonna add about 6 cloves. So I'm gonna add a nice portion of olive oil to the pan. If you don't cook with oil, you know, do what you do. Cook with water, whatever floats your boat. Then we're gonna add in our garlic. And we're kind of making like a garlic oil as the base for our pasta. This is gonna make it really flavorful and delicious. You just wanna be careful not to burn the garlic because garlic can burn very quickly. So don't have it on too much of a high heat. It's that time of the year where I love to cook with thyme, so I am gonna add a few thyme leaves in there, which is optional. So now that the garlic has kind of browned off, we're gonna add in our broccoli. And then I'm gonna season with a nice pinch of salt and also get some of that black pepper in there. Oh no, we've run out of pepper. Catastrophe! I'm sad, I'm actually sad. Now that the coconut has cooked, it comes out like this. Crispy, salty, with a bit of sweetness and some smoky. We're gonna let that sit aside while we prepare everything else. Try not to munch on it, which is gonna be very difficult. So I've got some boiling water and I'm just gonna cook off my pasta. Don't think anyone needs instructions on how to cook pasta. But we do want it al dente. Al dente is always goal. And we're still gonna cook down this broccoli. Now we don't want it soggy, so you just wanna cook it lightly. So it's soft with a tiny bite to it. Once the broccoli has cooked down, we are then gonna add our creamy sauce in there. Mix it all together. Yum. An additional step, if you have some nutritional yeast, just mix some of that in there as well. This is for all my people who love nutritional yeast. If you don't love it, don't add it. If you love it, add it. Simple. Once the pasta is al dente, you just want to drain it off. Can we get a yes for the fact that I actually managed to fit it all in one pot? So now we can get those crispy, salty, delicious coconut flakes straight in with the pasta and mix it together. Or you can save it just to sprinkle on top at the end. But look at that, yum. Gotta try a bit. Yum. So I'm adding a little bit more of the coconut flakes on top, a nut sprinkle, which is things like ground macadamia nuts, nutritional yeast, breadcrumbs, and then I've got some black pepper, which I'm gonna put on top. And then I like to sprinkle on a bit of chili flakes. So the second recipe, again, is now doing more of a pasta soup. Inspired by the classic Italian one, I am making one today using those leeks, those carrots, so seasonal. We're gonna make a nice broth, nice and soupy, and add some pasta. It's vegan, it's delicious, and I'm very sure you're gonna love this one. So let's get into it. I've got these butter beans. You can use cannellini beans. I personally love butter beans. So these ones aren't cooked, which means I'm gonna soak them overnight or at least for a couple of hours. I prefer to use the dried beans because they absorb so much more flavor than when you buy the canned ones. But for convenience, you can completely use the canned ones. It's gonna cut down on your cooking time. So it's completely up to you. So I've got a nice big leek, such the season for it, 4 carrots, garlic, onion, beans, some pasta, tomatoes, and lots of kale. And those are the main ingredients for this noodle soup. I sound so American. Those are the main ingredients for this pasta soup recipe. I'm gonna start off by chopping up my leek, and you just wanna finely chop everything. It doesn't have to be perfect. You could also use a food processor just to blitz them down a little bit. Mine is too strong, so it would just turn it into mush. So, just a rough chop is fine. Oh, I love the smell of leeks. They are so wintry. So leeks are part of the onion family, so you don't have to also chop up an onion, up to you. And then we're gonna chop up some carrots. Again, you can do this in a food processor or not. So I've chopped up about 4 carrots. Now that I've chopped up the leeks and the carrots nice and small, I'm just gonna add some oil to a pan, get that heating, and a generous amount of oil. Once that's heated up, we're just gonna throw in the celery and the leeks. So you just gotta mix it all together, sprinkle in a pinch of salt, mix it together, and you wanna get those carrots and those leeks to really soften up. Then I've got about 6 cloves of garlic. By all means, add more. And I'm just gonna chop them up. So I'm just gonna add in the garlic in with the leeks and the carrots. And it's looking so good. You can see that the carrots are really softening up. Then I'm gonna add in some tinned tomatoes, and you can use fresh if you have fresh, or you can use tinned as well. I'm just gonna get my hands in there and break apart the tomatoes. Just get your hands in and break it down. And then give that a really nice mix. Then you wanna add in those beans that you've been soaking overnight, or you can use already cooked ones and it's gonna reduce the cooking time. So I'm adding in a lot of water because I am using beans that haven't cooked yet. If you are using beans that are cooked, you're gonna add a lot less water just to cover it. Then I'm adding in a vegan vegetable stock cube, which I'm gonna mix together. Again, I am going in with some miso paste, which is optional. I just really feel like it helps add a nice depth of flavor to things like this, especially when you're not using meat. It adds a nice umami flavor. Now you want to leave this to cook until the beans cook, which can be 1 to 2 to 3 hours. The reason I like to use dried beans is because they absorb so much more flavor than the already cooked ones, and you can buy them without plastic and wrapping, which is much better for the environment. So I've got some really nice fresh kale. I'm going to give it a quick wash before I throw it in with the soup. I like to add the kale in after the soup's been cooking for about 2 hours, and then there's about an hour left. But like I said, if you use already cooked beans, this will be done in about 30 minutes. And the kale's really gonna wilt down, so you don't have to worry about that. Another thing I like to add is a good sprinkle of nutritional yeast. As some people explain, it's kind of like vegan parmesan, but it doesn't really taste like parmesan, but it kind of does that kind of similar thing. I'm gonna let that sit and cook until the beans are nice and soft. So about another hour. So I've got my soup noodles, which I'm gonna cook separately from the soup. If I cook it in the soup's gonna taste starchy and it's just not cute. Just draining it. One hand in camera, one hand in noodles. So I'm just scooping out the soup, and I've already put the pasta in the bowl, so the soup's gonna sit on top of it. That's just how I like to do it. Then I like to add a nice drizzle of extra virgin olive oil, a high quality one. It's gonna add some nice taste. I love doing this. And then I like to squeeze on a little bit of lemon juice, add in some black pepper. If you've got some vegan parmesan, that would be great too. And you could also add in a few nuts. And then I'm just gonna add in a couple more chili flakes because I like to add a little bit of heat. Then you've got your delicious butterbean pasta soup. It's so good in the autumn, so easy to make, and very delicious. I hope you guys enjoyed these recipes, these very, very hearty recipes. Please give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy them. Don't forget to subscribe because I'm here every week with new videos to share with you. And let me know in the comments what kind of videos you would love to see next week. Check out my book for more recipes, and I really hope you enjoyed these. I'm literally gonna go and devour all of these. I'm so excited. Like I said about the butter beans, if you wanna make that soup recipe quick and easy, use pre-cooked store-bought butter beans. That way you cook it for like half an hour to an hour. But if you wanna use dried ones, it's gonna take about 3 hours cooking time until they soften up. So the choice is yours. Choose wisely. Don't forget to let me know on Instagram if you do make the recipes, because I love seeing what you guys are making. So hit me up, shout me out. I love to see it, and I'll see you guys next week.